Back in the early 80s I was quite rebellious and very young, and I want to be different, so I went and had a tattoo.
I decided on my design like when I was about 16. It would be a nice treat for myself for my 21st.
I have 3 tattoos. I have one I had done when I was 18.
Well, I was working at a very conventional company. I wanted to rebel, but I wanted to rebel a little bit.
And it was really lovely to see, next to all the really old tattooing equipment, to see the contemporary stuff, and that particularly it was from Bob Eagle. Do you remember when he used to have his parlour in Omni, the Omni collection of buildings on George Street? And I was underage, too young for a tattoo, but I'd go in sort of persistently asking if I could have one, and then would go in producing various bits of borrowed ID.
It was really great to see an original sort of Irizumi style tattoo design. When we're looking at the pictures, it was like from 1906, I think, and it's just really interesting to see. It hasn't actually changed that much. Even people who are getting it done these days, it's quite a similar style that they do. I don't know. I don't know if it was a particular character, the guy that was in it, but I think he does appear throughout Japanese sort of mythology and things like that.
When you have the facial tattoos and you're not allowed to actually eat, so they have this funnel that you just put in the mouth, and it must be liquid food that's sort of going down your throat.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be able to chew, so no movement of the face.
No, and it was beautiful, wasn't it? The way that it was carved.
For me, in sort of modern day, when I got my lip done, a similar sort of thing. If I smoked or if I had something to eat, I would then had to carry around this bottle of mouthwash, part diluted with water. But yes, every time that I would smoke or eat, I would have to wash my mouth afterwards just to keep it clean.
15 years later, I did eventually get one by him. I got the sun on my stomach done, so that was
legal
nice.
then.
Yeah, finally.
But yeah, no, it's interesting to see the difference between the needles that we use these days, which seem to be just sort of, I'm guessing, just one the needle, whereas the older pieces that they had would be obviously the wooden with sort of metal prongs at the end, fanned out like sort of 5 or more.
It's very important to do your research when you get your tattoos done. I know other friends who haven't done it and it's not worked out well for them.
Back in the early 80s I was very rebellious, and not many women had tattoos back then, so I decided to go and get one. And my father had tattoos on his arm, and I'm sure they were dating back from when he was in Second World War, and up to sort of when my mother died as well. He had her leg put on, and then, you know, there was the swallow, which was quite common back in those days.
Yeah, there's a lot of
60s,
older people now that I see still with the swallow.
70s, yeah. But yeah, I suppose with the name and such, I mean, it sort of represented death for him because she died when we were very young, so, you know,
Yeah,
that's
but many carry sort of with the memory around with things.
yeah, I mean, today you see them, they have children, so it's life, death, and love.
Yeah, well, mine's not really symbolic, I suppose. It's, I just, I don't. Well, maybe it is. I suppose. Like, I've always been into sort of fantasy type, either books, films, and beasts, as it were. But my dad, I suppose, he's always loved dragons, so maybe it's kind of linked to that as well. That it's something that you know, something I share with my dad. Yeah. So, but it's not. I didn't necessarily think about that at the time, but it's, thinking back on it now, maybe that's why I decided to go with it.
That's great. Thank you. And sort of lastly, you know, how old were you when you got it done, and whereabouts? No.